Welcome to Please Me, the award-winning bilingual sexuality podcast bringing you bold conversations and big clit energy. As a female host in a male-dominated industry, I'm thrilled to announce that Please Me is the #1 ranked sexuality podcast in the USA and worldwide, covering topics on sexual health, intimacy, and sexual empowerment. I'm Eve, your host, on a journey from trauma to sexual liberation. Join me and my guests as we dive into conversations around orgasm equality, self-love, body positivity, and essential sex education. Let's reclaim pleasure and close the orgasm gap, one empowering conversation at a time. In part 2 of the season finale, Anthony Weaver from About That Wallet podcast returns as we continue our look back at the first half of 2026. We're sharing more favorite episodes, memorable moments, and key lessons from the season, plus the fun role-play scenarios that sparked some of our best conversations. Tune in to see if your top picks made the list and discover a few hidden gems you may have missed along the way. I'm happy to share that I've been nominated for a 2026 ASN Award for Best Educator. This year it's a one-time vote, so I would truly appreciate your support. The link is in the show notes, and I thank you for your vote. If you're ready to take your pleasure and sexual health seriously, explore the Sexual Longevity Protocol, a self-paced course designed to support you long-term. And if you want to start gently, download the 30-day self-pleasure and body reconnection practices, a free daily guide to help you reconnect with your body and build pleasure. Support the show by leaving a review and following the podcast wherever you listen. Join me on Patreon for $9 a month for ad-free episodes, early releases, and exclusive content, or subscribe to my paid Substack for deeper insights and updates. You can also join the Please Me Health Collective on SDC.com using code PLEASEME for a free trial and access to my free monthly webinars. Please Me is for mature audiences, so sit back, relax, and surrender to the pleasure of Please Me. Ladies, let's get personal for a minute. What does your vaginal health routine look like? Because as we mature, our intimate self-care needs an upgrade. If hormone shifts have you feeling dry, less sensitive, or just not quite like yourself, I've got a simple 3-step protocol I'm loving. Every morning I use my lady pump to increase blood flow and wake up the lady bits. And yes, it comes with 3 attachments for all the sensations. Then I apply Shamelessly Aroused by Shameless Care, formulated with sildenafil, the active ingredient used in Viagra, to support stronger arousal, better lubrication, and more responsive orgasms. Pair that with a daily self-love ritual, and you've got a powerful daytime combo. At night, I use Parlogame's estrogen and progesterone creams to support healthy hormone levels and resilient vaginal tissue. Fewer oops moments when I sneeze, and way more confidence when intimacy calls. Dryness, decreased sensitivity, frequent UTIs, incontinence, low blood flow? These 3 upgrades can be a total game changer, because intimate health isn't indulgent. It's essential. And trust me, you'll feel the difference. But definitely, making time for the things that you're interested in, I think, is important. And so if that's an interest of yours, making time to explore those interests.
Yeah. And I was even thinking about it. If there was only a device, if only there was a cheat code that you can actually help you out through that process throughout the day while you're doing your other fun things, and goes to tie into your famous guy that you love to have on the show, who created the penis pump and I believe the extender as well.
Samit Saki, yes.
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 And that would actually be pretty interesting to actually have for the guys. Even now for the women, I believe it's only the pump, right? It's nothing like they don't have like an actual attachment that you can walk around with, is there?
Well, I don't think could you walk around with the penis pump on? Probably not. Like, you have to lay down.
Oh, I was thinking
and
about the extender. I'm sorry. That was
Oh,
two
the
different.
extender. The extender you can wear under your clothes to make your penis longer. And he did use it at work. He said he would work in an office and he would wear it for 2 hours, then he would take it off for a half an hour, then he would put it back on for 2 hours, and he would do that throughout the day. And he was always sitting at a desk, so you couldn't really tell, right? And so that I thought was really interesting. And it worked. It worked for him. I don't know how many inches he gained over the course of, I don't know how long he used it. But I know that he did mention that his wife was like, okay, enough with the pump, because you're thick enough as it is. I don't want any more thickness. So the penis pump actually makes your penis thicker, or it gives it more girth. And then the penis extender makes it longer. And then the endurance trainer, which he also talked about on this episode,
Yes.
is the one that can help you with edge play, right? So edging is something that I always talk about, that I help teach my patients to use. And you basically are masturbating to the point of almost completion, right? Almost ejaculation, but then you stop and you wait until the sensation passes, and then you start edging again and masturbating again. And so it teaches you to last longer. And so the endurance trainer is something that actually can help you to do that more efficiently. So that's another cool toy that he talked about. Were any of those interesting to you?
I was actually curious. I was like, do I need an extender? Like, what would it look like? I don't know. But I was thinking about like maybe to just try it out just to see what it'll look like and feel like. But also, what is my desired length that I'm looking for? But also, as you mentioned, and I've heard so many women talk about, it's like it's not about the length usually. It's about how you can actually hit the certain spots that are necessary. And usually it's about 4 inches, if I'm not mistaken. So I would say more educational at that point is like trying to work with what you have is
Yeah,
uh is more so would be beneficial than actually trying to look for the girth and length. But I think that's what some women enjoy. So how about this? It's just best to find a person that will enjoy you the way how you are. And if they want the
true,
girth, bring it. Like then
true.
go for that point. Yeah.
But there are some men that actually do want to improve the size of their penis, and
Yeah.
so not everybody is happy with the size of their penis.
Oh,
You
back to the
luckily are,
confidence.
right?
Yeah.
That you luckily are, and you're comfortable with the size of your penis. But not everybody is, right? And then there's some people that do have smaller than average penises, right? And so yes, you can change, and I think that that's the most important part.
Yeah.
Is that non-surgically, okay?
Mhm.
Because yes, there are people that are like putting fillers in their penis,
Oh. Oh, heard
and in
about
their
those.
in their labia, and there are people who are doing surgical procedures to make their penises thicker or longer or whatever. And the reason that I really like to talk to Sam is because I like to show people that there are non-surgical ways to improve your size. I think that that is the way to go. To be honest, I don't really believe in surgery unless you have some kind of, I don't know. For instance, if use Trimix, right, and you damage your penis, Trimix is like a Viagra, but you inject it into your penis, right? Are you
Oh, that
familiar with?
one. That was what the your prior season was talking about. Yes.
So
I
if you
remember you talking
inject your penis, right, with Trimix and it damages your penis, right? I
hmm
actually have a patient who this happened to, and he had like an erection for 5 hours, and by the time he got to the emergency room, it was too late. Like the damage had been done, and then he ended up having to have a surgical procedure to put a pump into his penis, because his penis just would not function anymore. And
Mm.
so I like to talk a lot about how people can non-surgically or more naturally improve their sexual health. And so I think that that's why, for me, I keep inviting Sam back on. And because I do sexual health and I talk a lot about blood flow and how that affects our sexuality, whether you're a woman or a man, I actually recommend both his penis pump and his lady pump, because it does help to increase that blood flow to the area so that you can help with issues like erectile dysfunction or its female equivalent, which is decreased vaginal sensitivity and dryness.
Yeah.
So that's why I really love having him on the show, and he has some cool products. Yeah, non-surgical is the way to go, unless obviously you have some kind of huge underlying condition.
I love it. And so this brings up to the I guess really the last episode where you had a guest on. Because well actually no, you had another guy. The guy that was talking about the men's sexual health and as far as their performance. Um, that one I had to say with Brent. Brent brought up a great
Oh, yes.
thing. Yes, he did an awesome job talking about uh the languages between performing versus like actually ready to have sex. Now, the cool thing I like about this is that I had the question from his episode, and then you talked to a lady that actually explored both of those, which is the I forgot who talked about it. Sorry. The names are there. When I know the episodes, I get there. But Brent did an awesome job with the to bring up to know like the language around performance. And what he was really discovering is that you know, are you trying to perform for your woman or are you trying to be there for her? And that what was the problem with most men. It's like they try to like, hey, I want to perform for her. I want to be sure I'm ready for her, not realizing like it's twofold. Like you gotta make it work and have that communication and understanding, and both parties had to really make sure that they are, I guess you could say, not body shaming, but also not sexually shaming each other, because they understand like things happen. You know, the body, sometimes you might be ready, the person might not be ready, or vice versa, and that can cause some tension there just about every time. Well, you can get them all oiled up and ready to go, and then it's not there. So it
Right.
goes back to, and he was talking about eating healthy and making sure that you're supposed to take your right vitamins and exercise and so forth. So that was a great episode. Yeah, you did a great guest to come on the show. And you did a good job cleaning with the questioning to kind of bring out their stories, because this tied in perfectly um to understanding of the holistic self. So thank you. I'm gonna keep saying thank you every like 15 minutes. So
Yeah,
just
I'm
yeah.
loving that you liked this season so much. And I did really love Brent Dallon's episode as well. He talked about his own experience with erectile dysfunction and how his wife was like his biggest cheerleader, you know, and was like, hey, you know, maybe it's because you're tired and maybe you need to sleep more, right? And as soon
Hmm.
as he started getting better sleep, his function came back, but there's only so much that your body can tolerate, right? And so if you're burning, you know, the candle at both ends, you may experience a period of time where you are not having the most the function that you want all the time, right? And so he talked about that, and I did have somebody recently on the show that talked about performance, and I'm trying to remember her name off the top of my head right now. I remember exactly who it is. She's the other Puerto Rican lady. You remember? We talked about that
Yeah.
at the beginning. She reminded me of my cousin. You know, I don't think I said that
Hmm.
on the show, but yeah, she talked about performance, and she talked about, you know, being your true authentic self, right? And when
Yes.
you're not
Yeah.
tapped into your true authenticity, and you're not tapped into how you're authentically feeling in the moment, right? And maybe your partner wants to have sex, but maybe you're not really in the mood, you know, and so you're not being truly authentic to your feeling in that moment at that time, but you move forward and go ahead and have sex anyway. That's when performance steps in, because
Yeah.
you're not really in the mood, but then you're performing for your partner. And so that is not as enjoyable, obviously. And maybe, you know, along the way, you can get into the mood, you know,
Hmm.
but also just understanding that, like, you have to honor how you're feeling in the moment. Is this what you really want? Because you want to come to the bedroom with your full authentic self so that you can really
Yeah.
truly enjoy the whole experience, as opposed to, like, you know, doing like doing the puppet dance, you know, like, okay,
Right.
first we do this, then we do that, then we do that. We don't
The
want to,
routine.
we don't, yeah, exactly, that routine, right? That, you know, sometimes can be like boring, you know,
Mhm.
or not as satisfying. And, you know, a lot of times what happens in relationships is that if you're having that type of sex all of the time, suddenly the desire for it gets less and less and less, because you're not really like putting all of the good, all of your energy into it,
Yeah, and then I guess that will come up to which is the very last guest that you had on this. Well, not the last guest, but the last person we didn't get a chance to talk about, which is Becky Gleed, where we're talking about the infertility and the IVF side of the house, where it's like y'all both talked about having sexless marriages, and I mean, I can't relate to that one, because one of the things that helped out, it was a lot of external stuff impacting that, I will say, but where sex was less frequent. However, once we communicated, made it a schedule thing, it would actually worked out best because hey, we both can relax. We understand like this is what we're going into. And I was actually talking to somebody else recently about planned sex versus just having sex regularly. And one of the things is that they was like, planned sex, that don't even sound right. Like, how could you? And I was like, each person's a little different. It might not be for you, but I mean, maybe your partner you find it actually does plan out a lot better. So um I know I'm going off tangent a little bit, but to bring it back is from the sexless side of the house is like if you still want to have a child, and I think we go into the actual end of the sexual thing is like you're doing the act. These are the expectations if you want to go to the next level, which is to have a child, bring a new life into this world. Um, and that IVF process, it's expensive. And one of the things I'm glad that she talked about was the ancillary things when it comes to, or the external factors to IVF, which is how to get there, the travel side of the house, the constant frequent checkups. You even talked about having the shots that you had to take and everything like that to make it work. And that was actually pretty eye opening for me because I've heard of it, but I didn't know the process. And so again, just thanks for bringing that up and bringing that to light.
Yeah, and a lot of people struggle with infertility, so I think it's a really important conversation to have. I know I did in my marriage. I ended up having two in vitro fertilization pregnancies, both of which luckily were my children. I had a positive experience, but a lot of people really struggle, and sometimes it kind of puts a damper on your sex life, right? Because suddenly, the sex part is not necessarily needed anymore, and so it sort of gets pushed off onto the back burner when you're like, doing all of these other things to try and get pregnant. You have to do shots every day. You have to go to lots of different appointments. You have to like do tons of ultrasounds. There's just so many things that have to be done. And so it's a very long, intense process, but definitely worth it for people that are struggling with fertility. And that I will say is another issue that is being brought up now nationally in our country, is that fertility rights or fertility clinics are actually being attacked. Which is crazy because, on the one hand, they want us barefoot and pregnant, but then on the other hand, they don't want us having, children through
Exactly.
fertility clinics. So it really actually makes no sense. Like there's no logic, but of course, that is the case in terms of, this particular administration, in my opinion. And so we're not going to get into politics today,
No, I
but
see.
but definitely, something that a lot of people struggle with, and I think it's a really important topic as well.
Yeah.
So I want to talk
Honest.
a little bit about, because we're starting to get to the hour mark, right? And I want to talk a
Mhm.
little bit about the role plays.
Oh
Because I think
gosh.
some of the role plays were really, really fun in this
Mhm.
season. Do you remember a role play that you really enjoyed?
One of them wanted to do a different style of role play with you, and she was gonna do more of the talking, and you did more of the listening. I forgot which one that one was, but I was like, I really enjoyed that one because it was like some insight to see how well the person listens, and I thought that was a good role play. Um,
Okay, I would love to know
yeah,
who that person is because it's
I'm
not
trying
ringing
to.
a bell. Sometimes when you say things, like it rings a bell, and I'm like, yes, it
Yeah.
was this person, but for some reason that one's not ringing a bell. Did
Right.
you listen to the role play with Sydney Green?
I don't think I've. I might have to go back to that one because
You
it
may not have,
was
because
too.
she, yeah, so the second episode was the one where we did the role play. You know, when we do the 2 episodes, the role plays in
Mhm.
the second episode. You may not
Gotcha.
have listened to that one because that one came out today. So I don't know, should I spoil it or should I not? Let me talk about it a
It's
little bit.
available now. They can go listen to it.
It is available now. It is
Yeah.
available now. And Sydney Green's episode, she has a book actually called All Three in Me. And it's about her, the character, like the main character, and having like three male, like a polyamorous relationship with 3 men and herself, right? And
Oh,
so her role play was about introducing another partner
oh.
into the mix. And so I was her male partner. I always love when I can play a guy because
Right.
I can't make my voice deep, right? And so that's always hilarious to me when I'm playing a guy because I'm like trying to be like,
Mhm.
more manly, but it's like so hard for me, right? Because I'm just very feminine. So anyway, I was playing her male partner and she was telling me that she wanted to introduce another male partner into the bedroom. And like that conversation was really funny, actually, but really fun. And like, I think it was a really good role play. So you have to go back and listen to that one too.
Yeah.
But what other role plays did you like? Do you remember any other ones that you could think of?
No, not off the top. Like I said, I couldn't remember that. The one that I was like really thinking it was completely different. Um, no, not off the top. Sorry.
Okay, all right. Well, the role play is something that I really love as part of my episodes. I always find it really fun, and I think that the guests really love it too. They're at first they're sometimes some people are like, "Oh, I don't know, I've never done that before," and I'm like, "Oh, it's just easy. You just like start to talk, and it's like it just flows." And I actually have had some people say that they don't want to be on the show because of the role play. Believe it or not.
I've had that happen on my podcast because of the questions that I asked at the end. Yep.
Yeah, right. And so I was like, okay, you're not the right person for me then because I love the role play part of it. So I would love to hear like people listening to this particular episode, and I would love to hear your comments about the role play. Do you like the role play in my show? Because I'm moving into season number 8, and I want to make the role play section as good as it can be. And this past season we talked a lot about the ick, right? But we
Hmm.
kind of didn't go through like the whole entire season about that. But we did bring that up a lot. And I would love to know people's comments about the role play, and also, what sorts of role plays you'd like to see in the future.
That'd be interesting because I have seen some people on that podcast they actually have like a small role play in the beginning,
Okay.
and I was like, oh, that's an interesting way to open up the conversation in that sense. But I do like how yours is at the end because it gives them something fun to kind of think about, to kind of continue the conversation after the interview. So I can see it go both ways. So I appreciate you doing them.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I really love the role play too. And it's interesting because a lot of times when guests will like leave a review about my show, they mention the role play,
Yeah.
and they'll say, "Oh, I've never done a role play before, and that was actually really fun." And so I think that they enjoy it too. So I'm hoping that my listeners also enjoy it. So you're going to have to tell me about it. And speaking of role play,
We didn't
we
prepare like we did last time.
we didn't prepare for a role play, but we can pause right now and we can decide what we want to do for our role play. Want to do that for a sec?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Hold on just a second. Pause. Okay. So do you have any questions about the role play before we get started?
No, not at this point.
Okay, good. So I'm going to start. And action.
I love wearing a bra, said no one ever. If you're tired of discomfort and want a great bra alternative, I highly recommend Cakes. I gave up bras during COVID and searched everywhere for something better, and Cakes is the best solution I've found. They offer adhesive, non adhesive, and push up options that give a seamless look under your clothes without straps or discomfort. If you're tired of racing to your car to pull your bra off at the end of the day, it's time to get your cakes. I haven't looked back, and I know you won't regret it. Check the show notes for the link. If you've ever wished sex could feel more connected, more intense, or honestly just more fun, you need to check out Shameless Care. They're a telemedicine company built entirely around sexual health, real doctors, real prescriptions, and products that actually work. Like Shameless Chemistry, their oxytocin plus tadalafil blend that deepens connection and boosts arousal. Or Shamelessly Aroused, a topical cream with the active ingredient found in men's ED medication, increasing blood flow exactly where it counts. Every order includes a short video introduction from your doctor, transparent pricing, and no subscriptions ever. Just real, sex-positive healthcare that delivers results. Because you're a Please Me listener, you can use coupon code PLEASEME for $15 off your order of any product on the Shameless Care website. Use the code PLEASEME, that's PLEASEME, at checkout to claim your $15 off. Again, that's shamelesscare.com, code PLEASEME. Because great sex shouldn't be complicated. It should be shameless. This episode is sponsored by Shameless Care.
Hey Eve, how you doing?
I'm good. So nice to see you. I'm excited to have dinner with you and catch up. How have you been?
I've been doing pretty good. I heard that the Cheesecake Factory has some new cheesecakes out, so thank you for coming out and hanging out with me today.
Nice, nice. I'm excited because I really love their salads. So I'm gonna get a nice big salad and yeah, I want to hear all about like your experience since you got divorced. I know you recently got divorced and I've been divorced for a little while, and I would love to hear like how you've been doing, and are you dating or what's going on with you?
I've been right now trying to focus on me and learning some things about myself and hearing a lot of things about the guys that are divorced as well and what their dating pool looks like. And so I'm just trying to think to myself, it's like, what are some good questions to ask as a newly divorced person? Or do you just kind of say like, hey, I'm divorced. How you doing today? Like that's my intro.
I think it definitely eventually comes up in the conversation, especially on a first date, right? Whether you're like, in a relationship, have you been divorced? Do you have kids? Like all of those things, right? That, as people in their, we're not in our 20s, so we're not assuming that people don't have kids, right? Sometimes
Right.
at this age, a lot of people do. So you kind of want to know those things about the other person early on, I think. And so I think talking about stuff early on, I think is important. You don't have to throw it all into the first date, because that could just be kind of like overwhelming. And it was like, oh, that's way too much information for me. But also not waiting until like date number 10 to like find out if a person's interested in having kids or not, if you don't want any. I think that's essential, to
So
know ahead
what's
of time.
so then what would be like a turn off for you if somebody coming to you and because you've been divorced sometime and the guys will come up to you and be like, hey, what would be like something that will really be a turn off the first thing that they say?
Uh, well, it depends. Like if you're talking about in person,
Hmm.
I think something that would turn me off would be someone that would be too physically aggressive, like too much handsiness, like too much touchy feely,
Hmm.
too early on. It's like, wait a minute, like back up, like let's first determine if we like each other in that way. So for me, someone that is too touchy feely is a turnoff. Even though I do like tactile, stimulation. It's only with the people that I really like, and wants to touch me in that way. Not just any random person that I date. And obviously, you're going to go on a lot of dates with frogs before you find your prince, right? And so somebody that comes off too like physically aggressive is a turnoff for me. Another turnoff for me, if I'm dating online and I meet somebody new, is someone sending like dick pics or like
unwanted sexual pictures without asking me first. To me, that's an immediate block. I'm completely not interested in other people that you've had sex with and pictures of them or your dick pics. To me, that is an immediate red flag and turn off. How about you? What are your turn offs?
Well, since I'm new to the scene, it's I haven't had any yet. But as far as if somebody said like, "Hey, I have kids under 5," um, and then like they are heavily involved with like pets and everything like that, because I don't have pets, I don't have kids, so just kind of like thinking of, do I have to spend most of my time with them? Am I entering a polygamous relationship? Because technically that's what it is. If they got kids, I gotta still interact with their dad, or for some reason.
Well,
Um,
they're not in a relationship with their children or their pets. I mean, it's a,
yeah, I know, but I mean,
call it
it's
polygamous
like
because it's not another
time
human
with
being. But yes,
time
it
with
takes
yeah,
time away from you
yeah,
and your relationship. So I can see that. And if you already know that you don't necessarily want to have kids, or you don't want to be in a relationship with someone who has kids or someone who has pets, who always has to like run home before meeting you because they have to make sure that their dog gets fed and taken out and walked and all of that stuff, right?
yeah,
That could be a red flag. I could see that. I could see that.
yeah. And I'm pretty sure I probably lost a couple people here, but it's fine. But that's the thing, like when it's a relationship, it's supposed to be, you're not too much for somebody or you're not too little for somebody. It's supposed to be the right fit.
You have
And
to be for yourself. You know what I mean? You have to be
yeah,
for yourself. That's what you need to figure out first and foremost. It's like, what do you want for yourself in your life? And if you know that you do not want to have a relationship with someone who has a child under 5 because you know that you can't handle that and you don't want that kind of responsibility. And if you were in a relationship with somebody long term that had children, and you would have to take on possibly a parental role, and that's something that you're really interested in exploring, I think that that is perfect. You know what I mean? I think that's a really essential thing to know about yourself.
yeah. And especially if she doesn't like cheese. I mean, that's the problem. I like cheese. Gotta throw some cheese in there. Outside of
Must like cheese. What if
yes.
someone's lactose intolerant?
That ain't for me. That's it. I mean, I can deal with a peanut allergy. I can deal with a fruit allergy, but you got those cheese in there somewhere. I mean, come on.
That is so hilarious. I don't know
Yeah.
if you know, but I'm lactose intolerant.
Okay.
But I actually do love cheese. I
Hey, there
really
you go.
do. And every once in a while, I do eat it because I freaking love it. And then I always regret it the next day. But I'm like, it was worth it.
It
It
was
was
worth
worth it.
it. Yeah, well, Eve, thank you so much for coming out and hanging out with me at the Cheesecake Factory. I mean, obviously, we got
I will not be having cheesecake, but I
okay.
do really like their carrot cake. So they
Oh,
have a really
okay.
good carrot cake. They also have good chocolate cake. I mean, you know, there's other cakes besides cheesecake, but cheesecake is not the one that I would choose. Although I will taste it, but I'm not going to have 5 bites of it because I will be sick the next day.
Awesome.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. So, so they must like cheese for Anthony. That's so funny. What other things? What other things
I
are
want to
things
know more.
that you like that you're attracted to? Let me think about my pool of friends and see if I can. Would you go on a blind date?
I will go on the I will go on the blind date, and
Okay,
I will be myself. However, depending on the person, I will talk to you on the side about if it didn't work out.
okay. So okay, maybe I don't want to set you up because I don't want to hear about it afterwards. Like, hey, I was just trying to be nice and like set you up with somebody, but now I have to like hear the complaints. Um, Would I go on a blind date? I think so. I mean, it's kind of like dating online, right? I mean, it's not quite blind because you get to see pictures, but like really, truly, not until you see the person in like real life do you
Oh,
really
I thought
know.
you meant you wasn't going to share photos.
Well, photos of their face are
Oh,
fine and their body are fine. I just don't want dick pics. You know what I mean? To me, that's not the part of the anatomy that I'm interested in seeing before I meet somebody. Like, it's just not
Okay.
for me, you know? So, yeah, I do want to see a picture of their face, though.
Okay. That's fair enough. Yeah. So I
All
would
right.
say, yeah. Oh, if you want to end this.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Far as the another red flag, I guess you could say it, because they don't want to travel. They don't want to get on a plane.
That
I
is
like
a
the
big
plane,
one.
fly somewhere, on an island, relax somewhere. I go for a weekend and come back home. Like I'm ready for a quick getaway. If they say that I can see that they never did it, but to say like, oh, I don't do planes, I'm like, okay, this ain't gonna work.
That would be a red flag for me too, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I love to travel. I don't travel as much as I'd like to, but I love to travel. So that would definitely be a problem for me too, for sure.
Totally.
And you know,
Anything else?
another one for me is someone that's too, um, like too enthusiastic. You know what I mean? Like they meet you and they're already planning their entire fucking life with you. Like we're gonna
Oh,
do this and we're gonna do that and we're gonna like go diving and we're gonna like I have I don't know, I have equipment for you and you should come over and try it on. And it's like, whoa, I just met you. Like, relax. You
yeah.
don't have to think about your entire life and like your entire plans for your entire life with me in it when like I'm not even sure if I want to go on date number 2. So somebody that does that, that's a red flag for me.
Mm. I haven't thought about it that way. I would say my other red flag. I think our role play is just strictly red flags. It's great. My other red flag, I would say, is the aggressiveness of telling me that I'm always this or you're always that, or do you always do this? And I'm like, can we just enjoy the moment? Or being like Captain Obvious, I would say. That's one of the things
So
that's a
being
turn off.
critical, like, are you talking about someone that's being critical of you? Like,
Yeah, as far as like, why are you doing this way? Or why is it this way? And why are you doing this that way? And instead of just
that is a red flag.
enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, especially on a first date, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And someone's already being critical of you, or, that is a red flag because that will only get worse with
Yeah.
time. And so pay attention to those red flags because, what either even if you like the person and you think they're gorgeous or hot or whatever and you're really attracted to them physically, pay attention to how they treat you, what they say, are they being critical? All of that will get worse over time. So I think that that is a really good red flag to point out for sure.
Yep. And I think that's about it. As far as like vehicles, transportation, stuff to have physical things, uh, it happens. They made it this far and they over 40, so it's fine. We'll figure it out.
What do you mean? Like there's certain cars that would turn you off?
No, it's like how can I say? Because it's almost like how they do with real estate. It's like how your car looks is the way how your house looks.
Oh, I
Um,
see. I see. I see what you're
and
saying.
stuff like that. So it's like, I will say like, well, maybe they just had a bad day or they just had a lot of stuff in the car or whatever because they're doing a lot of activities. They're an active person. But
Mhm.
like, I won't just kind of do that as the first time. It's like, okay, well, maybe the second time I see him, the car's clean. But I don't know if it's the first impression. That's fine. But one of the things is, the expectations of doing things besides just saying like, oh, I don't touch doors when I'm with men, or I don't
Mm,
pull my chair out when I'm with men.
okay.
Um, I don't pay for my food when I'm with men. It's like red flags there. And
Okay.
again, it's red flags for me. Somebody
Mhm.
else might like it,
Right.
but that's for them.
Right. 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 Okay. I can see that. I can see that as a man, like the expectations of like being chivalrous all the time, you
Well, I
know?
don't mind it. Like I
Right.
will do it. It's just that
Right.
from the expectation piece that you
Mhm.
have to do it. And that's one of the things that irritates me. Well, that's a red flag for me.
it's a red flag if someone points out that you didn't open their door and they sat there in their car and waited for you to come around and you didn't open their door, and you're like,
Right.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's fair. I definitely do, because there are a lot of expectations put on men, right? And how you should treat us, right? And so I think that's pretty fair. I mean, I definitely like a chivalrous man. I like somebody that is a gentleman,
It's a
but I
difference
don't.
between they want to do it, and
Right,
it's
but
like
I don't
the have
expect
to.
it all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't stand in front of the door and wait for the person to like open it for me. You know what I mean? Like
Unless they
it's
had a discussion on the side, like, because for me, I'm like, if you with me, I'm like, hey, I'll get the door. You don't have to get the
right.
door or something like that. But like, at least
Yeah.
attempt it. Like, it doesn't feel like I have to.
I think that that's a good point because, like, in this day and age, I don't think that it's always expected, right? But if you want to do that for somebody, to say, hey, I'll get the door, and then just like reach and grab it, I think, and then, I think it's always appreciated. At least for me, it is. Like, I do appreciate that. So, but I wouldn't know, especially on a first date, if somebody wanted to do that for me unless they said, hey, I'll get the door. So I think communicating it is important and a good idea.
Totally.
Well, I think we're going to wrap this up now, so I'm going to do
Okay, right.
end scene because we can go on and on and on. And we had plenty of meals together at a restaurant, and talked about a lot of different things. So we can go on and on. But I want to make sure that all of my listeners can find you. Where can we find you?
You can find me at aboutthatwallet.com. Actually, there, and actually, you can find me at About That Wallet on all of the podcast players that you listen to better podcasts on. So it's all right. You can find me there.
Perfect. And check out his show. It is a financial podcast. You want to just explain a little bit about your podcast? Give
Sure.
us a little, elevator pitch.
Yeah, so the elevator pitch from our show is that it's the About That Water podcast where we help the sandwich generation build strong financial habits so that they can talk about money, spend money, and enjoy their money with confidence. And it's really a financial lifestyle podcast. So there you go.
Awesome. Great show, definitely. And you can always find me on pleaseme.online. And, there's a plethora of information on there. And so check out my website. And I will say too here that the 30-day self-pleasure and body reconnection practices is also on my website, pleaseme.online. It's the second tab. And if you are trying to reconnect with your body, if you have had a recent transition like a divorce or a breakup, and it's time for you to like sort of spend some time inward, this is a really beautiful thing that you can pick up. It's a free gift from me to you, and you can go online, just input your email, and it will send it directly to your email. And it is 30 days of ideas as to how you can self-pleasure. And it also comes with a digital journal that you can sort of input how you're doing at the beginning, and then journal throughout. And then at the end, there's somewhere where you can kind of talk about all of the progress that you've made. And so it is a beautiful way to reconnect with your body and self-pleasure. So check that out. And thank you all for listening to season 7. And we'll be back in season 8. Until next
Alrighty.
time, everyone.
See y'all 7.
If you're feeling disconnected from your body, struggling with intimacy, or facing a sexual health condition, you're not alone. There is no shame in what you're experiencing, and you don't have to figure it out on your own. But the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to reclaim your confidence, pleasure, and connection. That's why I offer a free 15-minute discovery call to explore what's going on and whether working together is the right next step. Spots fill quickly, so don't wait. The link is in the show notes. Grab your time now.
Are you looking for a sexy date? Look no further than SDC.com. SDC.com is the premier ethically non-monogamous website that is worldwide. It also hosts a wealth of information on sexuality and sexual health, and I host a free live webinar monthly on the site. You can use code 37340 for a free trial membership on me. And be sure to reach out on the site and say hello.
I want to personally invite you to join me on Patreon for ad-free listening, bonus episodes, and early releases. Already there is a lot of bonus content on there with many webinars that I've done in the past and a show that I've never released to the public before. My show is completely self-funded, and when you are able to support me in this way, I'm able to spread my message of body positivity, self-love, and women's empowerment, and empowerment in general around sexuality around the globe. And so with that being said, I appreciate everyone who has already joined Patreon. And if you've thought about joining, now's your nudge to do so.